So speaking of not getting good, Enzo, Cameron Kinley, he was drafted in this year's draft by the Bucks. He is a cornerback, but he is from the Naval Academy. He put in a request to delay his U.S. Navy commission in order to play in the NFL, for his career. But the Navy has denied this request, this delay. So basically, what this means is he cannot play in the NFL, and he has to report to the Naval Academy once he graduates school. So he obviously is going to appeal this, and it is looking like he might win the appeal. But are you okay with the Navy saying no? You have to fulfill your 3-year agreement before you can go play in the NFL.
I'm really torn on this because this isn't something they didn't know before they went there.
Yeah.
This is part of the commitment of going to West Point or going to the Naval Academy, the Air Force Academy, and what's the Marine Corps? Oh wait, they don't have one. Um, so it's part of the deal, and them telling them or denying them and telling them that no, you have to do this is nothing new. It happens all the time. About the only one that's a little more lenient on it about deferring it is the Air Force Academy. They've been pretty good to their athletes about deferring it, but a lot of times West Point will not let the guys go. Way back in the day, there was a quarterback the Packers drafted named Ronnie McAdoo, who went to West Point, played for Army, and he had to wait 3 years because they wouldn't sign his waiver either to go play in the NFL. He had to wait 3 years before he could come. He had to go fill out his term, go through all of his stuff, and then once he got out, then he was allowed to come to Green Bay to compete. And he was our third string quarterback, I think, for like 2 or 3 years. Never really amounted to nothing, but so it's nothing new. They do it a lot.
Yeah, so I am kind of torn on this as like as well because when you do go to a armed forces school, Army, Navy, Air Force, etc., right? It is kind of a given that you are going to go pursue a military career because I believe once you graduate one of those uh, armed forces schools, you are almost like a captain, right? Like you are
Yeah,
pretty
you're
like
no you
you're
you're
pretty high up.
you're you're commissioned officer. No, you would still start off as a second lieutenant. I'm speaking just strictly army wise. You still start off, but you're considered you would be considered more of a fast track.
Right.
So you might be a second lieutenant for like a year. You're going to get bumped to first lieutenant. You might be a first lieutenant, so you'll be an XO somewhere for like 2 years. It's pretty much expected by that end of that third year you are going to be a captain.
Yeah.
So
But like either way, I mean, so they have invested in you to lead their armed forces, but when you go there and you play sports and you are good at it, why not let this person pursue a different career? I mean, yes, I know you invested 4 years into this person to get them to where they need to be to lead our armed forces into battle and intelligence and like all that stuff. But if you are not going to allow these people to pursue their their dream that they worked hard for the last 12 13 years of their lives, why even have sports? Why have the Army Navy football game on national TV? You can still have your team and you can do some type of intramural thing, but why have it on this broad? The Air Force football team has been pretty damn good the last 5 or 6 years. They've been in the top 25 for at least the last four years, if I'm not mistaken. Why have these teams that are going to be so good and where players start getting seen and they want to go to the NFL or the NBA or Major League Baseball, etc.? Why have those sports if you aren't going to allow these players to play?
recruiting, my friend. It's about building that brand. So it is. They use that stuff as a recruiting tool. Is look, come here. Like our football team, like is but just like any other university, they're going to use that to draw
Right.
people in. Because what are you supposed to be when you're in the military? Physically fit. So yes, they want athletes. They want people that are going to train. You know why? Because athletes like that have discipline, they have training, stuff like that. That is all the things that they want in their leaders. So that's why they have these sports programs. You know, and how often do you see players coming out of Army or Navy? You see it a little bit more out of the Air Force Academy. I
Right.
would say you see quite a few players come out of the Air Force Academy that go pro, but you just don't see it a ton from the Army and the Navy teams. There's just not always those types of players on those teams, and a lot of them might go and do their commission and try the NFL, as a you know walk on to like be like, if I get a tryout, I get a tryout. After their term is up, but it's normally those guys don't have the types of career to warrant going to the NFL because those teams aren't recruiting NFL type talent.
Right. So let me ask you this question here because I do not know whatsoever. I mean, this is totally me shooting in the dark. When you go to a armed forces school, are you signing a contract to join the army in the end?
Yes, you are. That
Okay.
is part of your commit. That is part of your commitment to the school because you become out a commissioned officer. So, you know,
So you
and
are in theory signing up for 7 years to be in the army. What it comes down
essentially,
to.
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Like I didn't